Biology is nothing but the study of the living organisms, whereas the cell is the unit of any living organism. So we'll start off the first lecture of the biology today with the introduction of the cells that would include the comparison of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cell by definition means pro means before and karyon means nucleus. So prokaryon means before nucleus. A cell that used to survive, that used to exist before the nucleus came into existence was called a prokaryotic cells. And U means true and karyon again means nucleus. So a cell containing a true nucleus, that is a special structured nucleus that is enclosed by a membrane and that is visible when we look at the cell through a microscope. This type of a cell is called a eukaryotic cell. So what are the differences between a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell? We're going to discuss them right now. The main difference between a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is the presence or absence of a well-defined nucleus. A prokaryotic cell does not have a nucleus, but instead has the chromatin or the hereditary material submerged in the cytoplasm around. It's not bounded by the membrane. It's not pure in the micrograph or in the microscope. You cannot see any defined nucleus, but you will just see a submerged sort of material that you cannot distinguish. You cannot distinguish between that chromosomes and the surrounding cytoplasm. So you cannot make it out of the cytoplasm. So it's not very clear. That is the main identity of a prokaryotic cells. Whereas in a eukaryotic cell, you can see a very well-defined nucleus that is bounded by a membrane and it is visible through an electron or any microscope. You can see through a microscope. It's also visible over here. So in eukaryotic cell, there is a very well-defined membrane-bound nucleus. So in prokaryotes, there is no nucleus, whereas in eukaryote there is a nucleus. The other thing is the presence of the mitochondria. The mitochondria are also the membranous structure that are responsible for the synthesis or the conversion of the energy, which they're not present inside the prokaryotic cells. Basically, prokaryotic cells are devoid of any membrane-bound organelles. So that means that any organelle that has membrane around it will not be present in a prokaryotic cells. So mitochondria is present in a eukaryotic cell, whereas there is no mitochondria in a prokaryotic cells. The mitochondria can be seen through this electron microscope, whereas there are no mitochondria present in a prokaryotic cell. So basically, every membrane-bounded organelle is not present in a prokaryotic cell, which is present in the eukaryotic cell. The other thing is endoplasmic reticulum. That is the system of tubules that extends from the nucleus all the way to the end of the cell to the membrane. This system is made to transport the materials from the nucleus to the other part of the cells. This is also a membranous structure that is not present in prokaryotic cell. where it is present in the eukaryotic cell. Endoplasmic reticulum is also abbreviated as ER. So in prokaryotic cell there is no ER. In eukaryotic cell there is ER. Another membrane-bounded system of the membrane sacs is called the Golgi bodies. That is a specialized system for the packaging of certain materials that are destined to be transported outside the cell. It can be seen in this electron micrograph. These membrane-bound sacs or Golgi apparatus is also only present in eukaryotic cells. So Golgi bodies, ER, mitochondria, nucleus and other membrane-bounded structures are present only in eukaryotes and not in prokaryotes. Now we will discuss the structures that are present both in eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. First one of them is the DNA or the chromosome. Inside the nucleus of a prokaryotic cell, there are the chromosomes that have nucleus and that have DNA inside them, and the same DNA, a similar kind of DNA is present in prokaryotic cells as well. And the other structure that is present in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell is an organelle that is called ribosomes. Ribosomes are small granules that are present throughout the cytoplasm or on the surface of the ER in a eukaryotic cells, whereas they are submerged in the cytoplasm in a prokaryotic cells. The function of these organelle is to make the proteins. They are not membrane-bound structures, so they are present in both eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Then there is cytoplasm that is present in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. Since cytoplasm is the site of all the biological reactions that are taking place inside the cell, so it's definitely present in both cells. And the cell membrane is definitely present in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. So this is a basic comparison of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells.